to get this girl. The male protagonist did not hesitate to give up 100 million Chandi Bank. It is said that when Simon Yi first met Sanya, I became very interested in her. After some fighting, Simon Yi is even more determined. The determination to take her under his command. However, Sanya directly rejected him, just because he heard. Recently, the World League has been offering an olive branch to Simon Industry if Simon gives up and goes to the World League. So, what's the point of joining the other party's club yourself? Instead of this, he might as well use his father's connections. Enter the Europa League, the other party's rejection. Let Simon Yi start to rethink the value of each other. Sanya is a capable player with great potential. 100 million transfer fee. Of course, it can help her solve many problems, but as long as train Sanya in simple terms yourself, she can also help herself earn 100 million in the future. Think of this. Simon Yi immediately stated his position. She told Sanya she was not going to Europe, even if I go later, also holding each other's hands together. Hear, hear. Sanya suddenly smiled. Then we have an appointment. You can't be as ruthless as the other scums. In this way, Sanya followed Simon Knight back to her country, but Bai Xiaoyan used the excuse that she was in a hurry to go to country B, separated from her in advance. Maybe it was Sanya's jealousy, or can't stand taking 6 holes in one shot. Bai Jihu's face turned black when he learned of this. Has your cabbage been ruined? However, Simon Yi didn't take this matter to heart at all. His mind is now on Sanya. To improve Sanya's marksmanship, he specifically asked Coach Sanar. The famous gunnery teacher Maxim was invited from country B. Blanco then, at the behest of Simon Yi, Sanya shows the truth to each other. Force virtual test room. Sanya asks Simon Knight, what monster did he test with? Simon Yi told him, it should be Sailorban. Sanya asked the coach to give him one too, and he started to warm up, one by one with dumpling skins. All parts of Sanya's body were stretched. She walks slowly towards Sailorban. Even if the other party has started the sequence, she's still indifferent. With a laser shot out, the ground under Sanya's feet exploded instantly. Wait until the smoke clears. A deep gully appeared in the arena. However, just then, Sailorban suddenly felt a strong wind above his head. Look up. I saw Sanya with a long gun in hand already leaping into the air. A cold gun light fell from the sky. The monster hasn't had time to react yet. Sanya's spear has been inserted. There was a boom. Sailorban was wiped out in an instant. This scene just show instructor Blanco off the field stupid. After finishing the test, Sanya couldn't wait to ask Simon Knight. Evaluation of yourself. Simon Yi told him not to be proud. Just the battle. I can do it myself with Kumba. He told Sanya. Be sure to listen to the coach for the next month. Only in this way could he complete his transformation. Sanya is a little reluctant. Didn't you say you would be responsible for me? Why did you change the coach for me as soon as you returned to China? Simon Yi let him relax. Although I am usually busy, but when it comes to training, he'll take care of it. Only when he's not around. Blanco will teach, and Blanco, as an internationally renowned coach, I may not be able to compare to him, but one thing he was sure of, that's in the season a month later, they will definitely make him the protagonist of the opening battle. After a month, the first half of the 2023 season finally kicked off. YSM against the veteran playoff team SCBC. The game hasn't started yet. YSM's starting lineup has aroused heated discussion among the audience. In addition to the regular 6 combination, there are many more fresh faces in the team. That's right. After more than a month of training, Simon Yi, introduced 4 contestants, has become the main force of the team. The current team structure of YSM, 3 tanks and 4 melee combat, 3 remote assistants. But this position is not set in stone. While using the bow and arrow to output remotely, Stealth can also use superpowers to convert to melee combat. Although Choi Hyuk is standing in the tank position, but it can also be converted to melee output at the same time. Although 4i Ji-hoon is a melee, but I have also done auxiliary work before. This lineup can be changed randomly. Whether it's team combat or hunting, can be converted at will according to the actual situation. In addition, in order to make up for the lack of long-range firepower, Simon Yi specially introduced Shen Ying-shu. Although his brainstem goes straight to the anus, but with powerful positive and superpowers, it can fully afford a wide range of remote output. Looking at the players you have personally selected, Simon Yi asked Coach Sana proudly, what are the odds of winning this game? The vision of Simon Yi. Sana is still very impressed, especially the Sanya she brought back, after giving up the shield and replacing it with a long gun. Sanya's growth has been amazing. It only took a month. All ability values have been slightly improved. To know that the higher the ability value, the harder it is to improve. But after Sanya switched to melee output, it was like a duck to water. Rapid progress. Of course he doesn't know. To change Sanya's position, Simon Yi worked hard for 3 days and 3 nights. Sana expressed great admiration, except for Needon. He's never seen anything like this. The fast-growing players are cheered by the audience. The first match between YSM and SBC has begun. Different from previous games, this time, Sana did not issue a battle plan. Instead, the command of the battle is handed over to the players. In his opinion, winning this game is a matter of ding talk on the board. The first map of the game, is the Warrior Cemetery. The map is in the shape of a pyramid. The two teams start from the highest level. On the last floor lives a humanoid monster, protecting the core of the underground city. Along the way, there are magic tricks that can be attacked with branches and leaves. Podope, and a parasitic eye, Mister, looking at the players who are fighting with monsters on the field. Simon Knight can't help but miss the days in the dungeon. They didn't have any information about the dungeon back then, so almost always cross the river by feeling the stones. He remembers one time, a team member was parasitized by Mister. This monster is parasitic. There will be a minute to absorb nutrients from the host, then it will take full control of the host. When Simon Yi found out, it's too late. For this, he directly beheaded the team member. Looking back now, that person should thank themselves. At least he didn't die in pain. Looking at Simon Yi's calm expression, Dong Jun only feels cold in his back. What evil did I do? How did you get such a cold-blooded boss? At this time, Simon Yu suddenly called Dongjun to look at the screen. It means there's going to be a big war soon. That's right, at this time, the monsters of the first two floors. It has been almost cleaned up by the two teams. In order to contain Li Nayan's angry tactics, the RCBC team divided the team into 6 to 5 lineups and expedited the progress of cleaning up the monsters in order to prevent Li Nayan from suddenly appearing. The only thing they didn't expect was that the protagonist of this competition was never Li Nayan. It was Sanya, Simon's favorite student. The jailer spear is fascinating. No harm, don't fight face. SBC never dreamed. YSM, who has always used sneak attack tactics, it actually changes the way of play. After discovering Li Nayan's shadow, the captain of the first team immediately contacted the second team. Just find out where Zhou Seung-ho is hiding. YSM's old 6 tactics will be self-defeating. The second team that received the order immediately began to line up. But what they don't know is, Sanya has been waiting for a long time, and with him was Tank Trek. Compared to Sanya's indifference, Choi Hyuk is really not confident in this plan. You know, our CBC is being ranked 5th on the bet team. Just the two of them are going to hold back the 5 people on the opposite side. It's a bit too big. As for whether it can be successful or not, he's not sure. With the order to attack, the two jumped into the crowd. Trek was the first to hold one man as a tank. The other 3 saw Sanya immediately launch a siege. Facing the rushing little quack, Sanya calmly took out 2 long guns from his back. This is the same weapon as Simon Industry, just the front can make it big and small. Little Gogol's attack was stopped by the spear. But what surprised them even more was, Sanya has 3 shots per person, except for the staggered hands holding the gun. He also used the jailer to control a little bit. The 3 were shocked. Sanya has activated the gun in his hand. A tornado-like wind erupted from the spot. The 3 little Gogol were instantly repelled. What's up with this woman? One person pinned down the 3 of us. However, Zgogol's voice just fell. Sanya clenched the spear and twisted his body. The spear turns into a perfect parabola, shoot in front of Choi Hyuk. The anxious little quack with her before has not responded yet. Come here. The long gun has been inserted into the base of her thigh. Little quack let out a scream, and just then, a glowing shadow appeared behind her. Dagger slashed. Gogol died on the spot. Junkie takes first kill. This scene, it startled the off-screen narrator. I thought Sanya would fight his opponent. I didn't expect her to retreat after 3 people. Finished an assist. After the addict takes the first kill, Sanya didn't stop. After taking out the new long gun again, he looks at, locked on one of the 3 little quacks. The long gun was thrown upside down and shot at the little quack. At the moment of completion of the throw, Sanya's foot force rush out. At the same time, after seeing the trajectory of the spear clearly, little Gogol immediately take a defensive stance. This shot may be strong, but he also has the confidence to stop. But just as the spear was about to hit the face, Sanya's figure appeared in front of him like a ghost. He held the spear in his hand. With inertia, Sanya changes the trajectory of the spear, suddenly slash at the opponent. Little Gogol looked flustered. He took up his weapon and tried to block it. However, at this moment, Sanya is like a chicken with a basketball. Every draw is overwhelming. Just when little Gogol was amazed at how fast the other party was, Sanya, holding a gun in both hands, slammed into the ground. The powerful force caused the ground to crack. Little Gogol twists his body and dodges. Before she could catch her breath, I saw Sanya's spear bend. Next second, I saw Sanya jump up with the help of the elasticity of the spear. When the little quack reacted, her combo was cut in 2. Sanya looked back coldly. The real hunting time begins. 1 shot in hand. I have the world. Sanya, who completed the kill. He didn't stop. Her figure flickered, quickly attacked another little quack. The hard spear suddenly fell. The explosion from the collision sends the little quack flying. But before she could react, Sanya rushed up. In the blink of an eye, the spear has completed hundreds of draws in his hands. Little Gogol was almost poked into slag. Zhao Shenghao, who was hiding in the corner, was already stunned. The original plan, yes, let Sanya and Trek stall CBC's second team. I didn't expect Sanya to be warm fried as soon as he made a move. He hurriedly passed the news to Liu Zhenwan. Everyone stop hunting. Here comes the opportunity to wipe out the opponent. At the same time, Simon Knight off screen when I saw Sanya's expression. Also let out an exclamation. Sanya's agility and skills. It actually improved a little in the battle. Exactly. Players can indeed rely on concentration and experience, increase ability points in battle, but this is just the first time Sanya has participated in a team battle. In fact, after feeling the thrill of killing, Sanya was also enlightened. At first, Simon Yu persuaded her to become an attacker. She's a little disdainful, but when he really became the harm maker, he just found out that it was simply. Although this feeling is exciting, but he never forgot Simon Yu's teaching. Simon Yu had told him, if your own greed causes the death of your teammates, that's not worth the loss, no matter where you stand, to ensure the survival of teammates, rather than completing the kill. Think of this. Sanya swept the sidelight to Kui-hee behind him. At this time, Kui-hee was already struggling. See this situation. Sanya decisively gave up the kill, run towards Kui-hee. At the same time, he shouted for the other party to hand over his back. Hear Sanya's voice. Kui-hee understood and bent down. Sanya takes advantage of this. The pedal jumped and rushed out. Little Gaga, who was at war with Kui-hee, was stunned, but all that responded to him was a cold spear. And right now, the rest of the YSM squad also rallied. The battle ended without any suspense. YSM perfectly explains with strength. What do you mean? A giant is a piece of shit. Scattered stars. Looking at Sanya in countless flashes, Simon Yu revealed a gratified smile. As expected of a woman who can make me understand. It really didn't disappoint me. Once upon a time. Now, there is a lot of scolding after the first game. Shen Yingshu came to the toilet alone. He couldn't wait to open the Warfire forum. I want to see what netizens say about me. It turned out as she thought. There was a lot of online abuse. Since being kicked out of the national team, she became the face of the Joker in the forum. Although I won the game this time, but it was described by netizens as a coward who only hides in the back row. Shen Yingshu can't hold her back. Meow. Bunch of trolls. I don't know what tactics are at all. However, just then, two voices suddenly came from outside the door. It completely made Shen Yingshu unable to sit still. These are two members of the SCBC. They inadvertently talked about Shen Yingshu. Speech is full of contempt and ridicule. Shen Yingshu can't hold it anymore. Push open the toilet door. I have to fight with two people. Seeing an angry Shen Yingshu, little Gaga is not panicking at all. They've even stepped up the ridicule. That's right. She just wanted to take advantage of Shen Yingshu. Angry and mindless personality, create some scandals, to prepare for the next game. However, just when she succeeded in angering Shen Yingshu, the other door of the toilet was yanked open. Shen Yingshu was hit a grand slam. The person who walked out turned out to be Simon Yi. She was taking a dump. Coincidentally, I overheard a conversation between several people. Only, she's not as stupid as Shen Yingshu. Just a few words. She heard the other party's small thoughts. Little Quack was a little flustered. She was about to apologize. As a result, Simon Yi was the first to catch Shen Yingshu and ask her to apologize to the other party for the angry behavior just now. Little Gaga was stunned. What's the matter with him? Shen Yingshu was also confused. Obviously, they were the ones looking for trouble first. Simon Yu looked at Shen Yingshu with a straight face. Don't do as I say. Believe it or not, they have plenty of reasons to slander you. Otherwise, why did you hear bad things said about you during the game? Saying that despite the resistance of the other party, Simon Yu pressed her head down. At the same time, he also apologized to the two opposite with a smile. Before leaving, she also made a special confirmation. Is there any problem? That's right. Simon Yi's mysterious operation, just to keep it safe. He knew very well that Shen Yingshu was being used. However, since he is a member of his team, this loss cannot be eaten for free. When you leave the room door, Simon Yi grabbed the door frame. He said coldly to Z Gaga, do you know, you are lucky today. Shen Yingshu is still in probation period. That's why I'll let you go. If there is a next time, you make up for the consequences. After saying this, Simon left without looking back at night, leaving only a deep scratch on the doorframe. At the same time, Liu Yongquan is making pre-war arrangements. Although, this game is for the boss to test Sanya, but other people can't relax either. The map for Game 2 is the ant nest. The former enemy has modified the ants, causing the emergence of a mutant queen, hidden at the bottom of the dungeon. But once someone approaches, it will issue a command, summon the other ants. So, this time the strategy requires all the ants. Kill all. Just when Liu Zhenguan discussed a strategy plan with everyone, Shen Yingshu's thoughts ran to the other side. Although Simon reminded himself in the toilet before, but he still has a grudge against the SBC players. Even the laughter on the other side, he thought he was laughing at himself. As the game officially begins, both sides entered the underground city, one after another. I just don't know that Shen Yingshu has a grudge. Can you hold back in the coming battle?